We're going to be doing substitution today, so if you could make a nice big heading in your book, substitution. And then jot down that the two sentences there. Jot down the two sentences there. So substitution involves replacing pronumerals in an algebraic expression with numbers. So this is where we have things like we just did, a series of algebraic terms, and we get given what each term or what each pronumeral is worth. Okay, so like in measurement, when you're, say, looking for the area of a square, and the formula for area of a square is 2L plus 2B, the L is whatever the length of that rectangle or square is, and the breadth of it, the width of it, is the B. So you know what those values are and you can substitute them in. I think I said square before, I should have said rectangle. Okay? So then we can actually work out what it's all worth, and we can express to the specified level of accuracy, whether that be decimal places or significant figures, which is something we are going to have to learn about. In terms of the steps for substitution, there are 4 main steps for substitution. Okay? Step 1. Write the algebraic expression. Alright? Don't just feel like, oh, it's in the textbook, I don't need it in my exercise book. You kind of do need it in your exercise book. It makes life so much easier if you know what you're substituting into in your book. Okay? Or in your exam paper or whatever it is that you're doing. So always start with writing the algebraic expression. Anyone who has had me before has probably heard me become a bit of a broken record over that. I will say it for pretty much everything. Write it down first. Replace the variables in the expression with the numbers given in the question. Alright, so you've written your expression down, you know what that is. On the other side of your equal sign, whatever those variables, the pronumerals are, put in the values. Right? Make sure you use the right operations in there as well. Evaluate. It says using the calculator. If you can do it without a calculator, do it without. If you need a calculator, use the calculator. I am not going to go crook at anybody for using a correct calculator. Okay? So evaluate it. Find the answer. Write the answer to the specified level of accuracy and correct units. That one's important. Alright? Because if a question asks you for millimeters and you don't specify millimeters, whoever's reading your stuff might think you mean centimeters or meters or kilometers. So always make sure you're using your units. Okay? If nothing's specified, actually use the word units. Because then it tells yourself, as you're doing it, me as your teacher, and anyone else who's looking at your work, that you actually are thinking about what you're doing. You know what you're doing. Okay? Example number 1. Example number 1. We have evaluate. So we want a final answer. That's what the word evaluate means. We want a final answer. 3a minus 4b plus c. We've been given, for those values, a equals 2, b equals 5, and c equals minus 10. Okay? I'll give you a chance to quickly write that down. So what was the first step?
Evaluate.
To write it down, yeah? So, write down the expression. That's the first step. Pretty easy, isn't it? Chuck in your equal sign. So everybody understands that the equal sign, all that means is that this side has the same value as this side. So it doesn't matter what's on the other side, they have the same value. Okay, that's all the equal sign does. Doesn't do anything else. Okay? What was step number 2? What was step number 2? Replace the variable. So here we've got an A. So our variable, our pronumeral, what was the value of A? 2. What does 3a mean? Does it mean there's going to be 32? It's going to be 3 times 2. Okay, because we've got 3 lots of a. Lots of is times, so 3 times 2. What about here? It's 5. It's going to be 4 times 5. And then the c, which is?
1. Practice.
Minus 10. So there's our first one. Second one, so we keep that minus in there. Alright, I'm going to keep this plus in there for now, just so that we know what's happening. And then put the minus 10 in. What's going to happen here, guys? It's going to change the whole thing to a negative. That plus sign's going to drop off. Okay. What's 3 times 2? 6. What have I done there first before I've chucked in the 6?
Put an equal sign.
I've put an equal sign. Where have I put it?
Underneath.
Underneath. So this is
The other
really
equal
important. This is really important for your working, because I know some of you like to work across the page. Stop. Go down the page. It is so much easier to read. It is so much easier to work out what you're doing if you're going down the page. Equal signs underneath each other keeps things nice and neat. Okay? Chuck in the 6. What's going to happen next? Minus 20, because we've got our minus sign. 4 times 5 is 20.
And then plus minus 10.
And then minus 10. Because remember we said that plus sign gets taken away. Alright, it disappears, it gets taken over by the minus.
Oh, so tired.
Alright, any of you that had had me in younger years probably heard me once say that it hulks out and takes over the plus. Okay? What do you think is going to happen next? Yeah.
I called it.
Okay. Now what can we do? What was step number 3? Actually evaluate it. Evaluate it. You can use a calculator if you want. I would hope that you wouldn't need a calculator. But if you need a calculator, I will not look down upon you. I would hope by the end of next year you won't need a calculator for this. But what's it going to be?
I bet it's going to be like negative 10.
Why is it negative 24? Because it's going back.
So we're starting at 6. We're going backwards 20 spots, which will take us to minus 14. Right, because 20 minus 6 is 14, but we're in the minuses. So minus 14, and then we take 10 away from that further back. We get minus 24. So, we have our first one. We're going to do both of these using a equals 2. Okay? We're going to do both of these using a equals 2. Our first one is 3a cubed. Or 3a to the power of 3. What was step number 1? Write it down. Pretty easy, isn't it? Next step, plug in your variables, right? So 2 is going to go where the a is. So it's 2 cubed, isn't it? Because it's a cubed, it becomes 2 cubed.
Jeez, I'm smart.
I've made a mistake there. Someone's going to have to fix that up for me.
I'm like,
I'll have to fix that before I put it up. I caught it everywhere else. Just not there. Sorry, guys. What's next? What am I going to do? What is the value of that? What is 2 cubed? Well, there it is there. 2 cubed is 8. Because what is 2 cubed? It is 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. Then you times that by 2 to get 8. Right? You're not adding the 2's together, you're timesing it all. Okay, so 2 times 2 is 4. Times 4 by 2, we get the 8. So 2 cubed is 8. What's 3 times 8?
Means this hurts my brain.
Hold up.
24.
Yeah, see?
24. And that's our final thing. We haven't been given any units. We don't need to worry about units in this one. So that's as far as we need to go. Okay, we haven't been asked to talk about decimal places or significant figures, so we're all good at the moment. Here's our next one. We have the square root of, this is why we've got our square root sign, 2a plus 5. What's A equal to?
5.
2. It's in the question.
Alright.
Alright? It's not a trick question for you. It's given to us. What was step number 1? Write it down. Makes a bit of sense, doesn't it?
Sure.
Hopefully it makes sense.
Yeah, it's the exact same.
It's the same process, isn't it?
No, I'm telling you. Down here, it's like the exact same.
Alright? When we substitute in, it's only the A that changes. We've got 2 lots of the A, so it's 2 times 2 plus 5. Remembering our order of operations. So 2 times 2 happens first, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What does 2 plus 5 happen first?
Wait.
Which one happens first? 2 times 2 or 2 plus 5? The 2 times 2 happens first. Okay. So what is 2 times 2? 4. So we get 4 plus 5.
Equals 9.
What is 4 plus 5? Well, that's 9. What's the square root of 9? 9. And notice how on both of these, my equal signs are going down. Okay? Make sure those equal signs go down, because if you do go across the page, if you happen to be trying to write quickly, equal signs can very, very easily become minus signs. Plus signs can accidentally become times signs. So when you're writing quickly and you're going across the page, it gets very hard if you get them muddled up. But if you're going down the page, so much easier. Alright, keeps things nice and easy. Are we all good with that?
No, I'm not finished that. Take it easy. I'll have it. I'm on full page. I'm on my second page.
It's average.
It will be up on Classroom this afternoon.
Where's the answer on it?
Yeah, I've got to
Have you
finish you up.
started?
Alright.
Finish what?
Last example!
Oh, hurry up, me.
Last example. We have a squared plus 5b cubed minus c. We've been given as our values a equals 4, b equals 2, and c equals minus 1. What's step number 1? Write it down. What's step number 2?
With equal sign.
Replace the variable.
Replace the variable. Yeah, we'll do it on the other side of the equal sign.
You read
So, 4 squared? Everyone agree with it 4 being 4 squared? 5 times 2 cubed, does everyone agree with that?
Yeah.
Minus 1, does everyone agree with that?
No.
No, because we've got the minus in the question.
But what's the second one?
C is minus 1. So we've got 2 minuses. So 2 minuses. And this is where they become the plus. Is that together?
Because they're next to each other. But if there's
Yeah.
a number
It's
in
like
between them, it doesn't.
They're the monomorph power ranges and they're morphing together.
No, that.
Now what's next?
I like her telling
Evaluate each bit, right? So 4
Evaluate.
squared is 16. Does anyone disagree with that?
No.
What's 5 times 2 cubed? What is the 2 cubed going to be? 8. So let's just do that out, just to make sure that we're getting the right values in there. Then what's this going to become? Now we're going to do this middle bit here because it's just going to be easier to do each thing on a separate line. 5 times 8 is 40. Everyone agrees with that, I hope. What's my final answer going to be based off that now? Everyone agree with 57?
No. What are we calling it?
I hope so. Because that's the answer. Nope.